Hello YouTube, my name's Nero and today is from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and another episode of DNA Saturday, which is the weekly series here on my channel where subscribers send me in DNA bombs. That was the create class we're going to be using throughout the entirety of this gameplay. If you guys like to go back and pause to get a good look at the create class, you guys can do that, but keep in mind I will be talking about the class at some point throughout this video. The gameplay you guys are watching is a very, very nice Atlas 20mm DNA bomb running around here on the map Riot playing some domination, and the gameplay itself was actually sent in by a guy that goes by the name of the Friendly Machine, who I'm sure you guys are well aware of who that is because he's been featured a couple times here on DNA Saturday, as well as he's featured last year with Chemstrike Saturday a couple times, so you know he's a very good player that submits a lot of great gameplay, and this gameplay is no exception. It's freaking great. So basically what we're doing is we're taking this rocket launcher Panzer Shrek looking sniper rifle in the Atlas 20mm, and we're going to be running around and essentially just quick scoping everybody on our way to a DNA bomb, which is definitely great to see. I know people like to watch quick scoping stuff. I know it. People love it. Everyone seems to really like sniping. Everyone has an interest in it. They like to see sniping stuff. That's why both episodes of DNA Saturday this week are both with sniper rifles. This one is a lot more quick scope centric, if you will, as compared to the last one. It's definitely very enjoyable to watch that. It's definitely nice to see somebody running around and doing this well while quick scoping, because for me personally, I'm not very good at quick scoping. I mean, I'm okay at it, but especially with the Atlas 20mm, I can't. The thing looks like a rocket launcher to me. I'm just not good with it, right? I'm just not. As compared to like the Moors, I'm decent with the Moors. I'm pretty good with the Moors. I'm not good with this one just because the way the weapon looks is very off-putting to me. It reminds me a lot of the Panzer Shrek rocket launcher that you would get in World at War, right? Be it in Zombies or the single player. The Panzer Shrek, if you guys play that game, I'm sure you guys will agree. That's what this thing looks like. It's freaking weird. It doesn't make any sense to me the design of the weapon, but it's definitely cool looking. It's kind of enjoyable to scout snipe with, in my opinion. But yes, basically throughout the entire gameplay, he's going to be quick scoping a lot of people down en route to his DNA bomb, which is interesting because like if you just would have taken your time, you could have taken your time on that kill. Why don't you just take your time? But he's like, nope, left trigger, right trigger, bam, and just takes them out. And the strategy he's using throughout the majority of the gameplay is he falls through the roof right there. The strategy he's using throughout the majority of the gameplay is actually a very tried and true, very good strategy that I definitely recommend you guys doing. I've already talked about it a couple times here on my channel, but I'm going to reiterate one more time here for you guys. If you're playing domination on Riot, you definitely want the opposing team to be over at the A flag so you can do exactly what he's doing throughout this gameplay, and that is standing on top of this roof or going in any of the other areas to the left or right or even inside the building where you basically shoot fish in a barrel as they run out from the A flag. Because you think of like old school war tactics, right? Take the high ground, right? I'm sure you've heard of that before, right? That's exactly what you do when you give the opposing team the A flag in domination here on Riot. Like they spawn at the bottom of this hill and they spawn behind this building and they literally have to run uphill just to even get into the B building and then start fighting for it. Like once the opposing team's kind of trapped down there at the A flag, it's really kind of hard for them to get out. So I definitely recommend to all of you guys out there that didn't know about this already, you definitely want the opposing team to be at the A flag. It's way better. You can have them at C. It's okay, I suppose, to have them at C, but it's definitely a lot better to have them over at the A flag. Just keep that in mind. Just kind of burn that into your brain, and you'll definitely thank me later when you try it out, because it's a lot better to have the opposing team over at the A flag. Right there was halftime. We're fast forwarding a little bit here. We skipped basically all the halftime and the kill cam and stuff like that, and the loading screens and stuff like that, just so we can get back into the action where we start going back on our streak for our DNA bomb. Let's take this time to actually talk about the Gray class, because yeah, I'm sure you guys are wondering, what are we doing exactly to make this Atlas 20mm so good, right? So basically, the Atlas 20mm that he's using is a stock one. There's nothing to it. There's no special variant, and there's no special attachment. This is a default scope on the default Atlas 20mm. He does have 6 perks, because if you're using a gun that has no attachments, you have room for a lot of perks. He's using 6 of them. He's using low profile as well as lightweight for perk 1. We got blind eye and fast hands as perk 2, which fast hands I definitely recommend on sniper rifles. As well as for perk 3, we've got scavenger and we've got toughness. Now, the idea of scavenger on a sniper rifle, I don't know, man. I still can't just get behind the idea of scavenger. I can't do it. The only gun I feel so I can get behind the idea of scavenger on is the SAC 3s, and that's just because you burn through so much ammo. Look how many people are down there on the C flag right now. But that's the only time. It's the only time I feel so I can recommend scavenger. But you see so many people end up using it. As for secondary, we're running around with the PDW, which is an okay secondary. I'm honestly not a big fan of any of the secondaries here in Advanced Warfare, to be perfectly honest. When I use a secondary on my sniper rifles, I usually use the RW1 just because it's fun. because the other secondaries, they don't seem that great. Like, they're just not as powerful. I've been longing for the day that sometime they would end up bringing back like a revolver pistol, kind of like the World of War 357 Magnum, or like the Call of Duty 4 Desert Eagle. That thing was great, man. Everyone loves the old school Deagle, and just a very powerful secondary that people all agree is a very good secondary, and basically everybody uses. I'm longing for those to come back, but they just really haven't. Most of the time, it's either use a machine pistol or just use no secondary at all in these past couple Call of Duty games, which is definitely kind of depressing, I would think. But right here, this is where it starts getting kind of scary. So he kills that guy that's calling in some kill streaks, and he barely survives the bombing run, which is like, okay, well, you're kind of lucky you didn't just get murdered right there, because I heard the bombing run coming in the gameplay. I'm like, why didn't you just run away? Why weren't you just gone? And he just wasn't. Like, he just stood there, and it was weird, and he ended up dying from it, which is pretty interesting that he actually didn't end up dying from that, because I would end up dying from it all the time. But right there is where we actually pick up the DNA bomb. Like I said, a very nice overall quickscoping gameplay. Just quick scope. I thought it was kind of interesting to watch. I know a lot of people like to watch quickscoping sniper-based stuff, and that's why both episodes of DNA Saturday for this week were both with sniper rifles, because they both kind of caught my eye. And I'm like, you know what? I'm sure a lot of people actually enjoy watching these, because one's with the Moors, which is probably the most popular sniper rifle here in Advanced Warfare, and then one's with the Atlas 20mm, which is in some respects kind of like the new 50 cal in a way, although it's only got 4 shots by default, but it is kind of like a semi-automatic, so of course you can spray it a little bit. So it's kind of like a newer version of the 50 cal, whereas the Moors is like a newer version of like the bolt action sniper rifle, that kind of idea. So I thought it was interesting, and hopefully you guys also enjoyed both episodes of DNA Saturday for this week as well, because you know what, there were sniper rifles, and I know people that got this gameplay for you guys. They definitely worked very hard to be able to get that. But there we see the final score, a very nice score of 50 kills and 4 deaths. Very, very nice overall gameplay to you, Mr. Friendly Machine, who once again, a returning guest. You guys have seen him plenty of times. Very, very good player. Definitely an awesome player. But once again, I hope you guys all enjoyed this week's episode of DNA Saturday. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel the video deserves. And if you guys would like to submit your DNA bombs for next week's episode of DNA Saturday, watch the video that's on your screen right now. You can click the annotation. It will open up that video in a new tab, as well as a link to it down in the video description. You need to go check out that video. It'll tell you everything you need to know about submitting your stuff for DNA Saturday. If you guys would like to go ahead and check out the Friendly Machine, once again, a returning guest here on my YouTube channel, you can find him over at youtube.com/thefriendlymachine. I gotta say, he kind of does it all, because you see a lot of gameplay channels here on DNA Saturday. You see a lot of gameplay channels featured, and he's kind of a gameplay channel in a way. Like, his stuff is just as good as any gameplay channel, but he goes above that and actually posts a lot of other stuff as well. Some of the stuff he likes to post is he does different kind of Cray class guys, talking about different class setups and what works for him and how he gets lots of kills within his gameplays, as well as he does different kind of things like a shout-out series. There's a weekly shout-out series, as well as he just does really good gameplay videos in general and has like a traditional style commentary on all of them. He does commentate all his stuff. He does talk about the gameplay and how he does well. You can definitely learn a lot from watching his YouTube channel, which is definitely pretty nice. And a lot of people seem to agree with me that he's got a pretty good YouTube channel, because he's just under 1,300 subscribers at the time of this video going up. So definitely give him a look if you guys haven't already. I know he's been featured a couple times here on my channel, but if you guys haven't given him a look already, I'll definitely recommend it, because he has himself quite the channel and his videos are pretty good. So go ahead and give him a look. I hope you guys all enjoyed this week's episodes of DNA Saturday, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.